Hey everyone, NicMakesPlays here. Today I'm going to go over scouts. I have a few scout deck guides in the past, and this one's a bit different though because scouts got a huge buff with the card Grand Plaza, which changes pretty much mostly how the deck works. It used to be more about like the early game curve and being super aggressive, and now it still can do that, but a lot of it's centered around the Grand Plaza instead, and it changes the way the deck works. So I'm excited to go over this deck with you guys. So let's do it. All right. So, I guess first we'll go over Grand Plaza real quick. I'll go into it more in depth when we get there. We'll start with the one drops, but just so you guys know what Grand Plaza does. Landmark, so table space on the board, they just sit there. They're basically like, I don't want to play other games. So yeah, they just sit there on the board, and they buff everything when an ally summon, give it +1/+1 and challenger this round. They can only be destroyed by cards that like destroy a landmark, and they take up unit mana, which is important to know, even though they are units. So yeah, when an ally is summoned, give it +1/+1 challenger this round. Very important, giving scouts challengers. Also, as you also see in this deck, it is summoned. So that means anything that's summoned. So if Alan Navigator's played and summons another unit, that also gets +1/+1 challenger. If Quinn's played and summons Valor, that also gets +1/+1 challenger. Grizzle Ranger attacks, and then Grizzle Ranger dies. The lower badge bearer it summons also gets +1/+1 challenger. Very important. Anyways, all right, Fleet Feather Tracker. This is just a generic 2/1 that has Challenger by itself, so not like completely different with the Grand Plaza, but if you're going second, it's still really good to play it on turn 1 and then turn 2 play Bright Steel Protector, which is this card. Play Give an Ally Barrier, negates the extra damage unit would take. So you get a free kill with the Fleet Feather Tracker, get a lot of tempo in the early game. Even later in the game, just playing a Challenger is good because it's a permanent challenger, and if you don't Grand Plaza, it's still a good challenger. So yeah, Fleet Feather Tracker is really good. When Go Hard before was nerfed, then this card started falling on popularity, but I think it's still a really good card. There's a hook away blockers and do huge damage. And next to Jagged Butcher, this card's amazing. 1 mana 2/2. That's usually how you play it. Is you'll play it on turn 1 as 1 mana 2/2. But if you draw later in the game, Plunder. So if you dealt damage to enemy Nexus, grant me +1/+1. So it becomes a 1 mana 3/3, a permanent 1 mana 3/3, which is really strong. And if you have, so let's say you do a scout attack, you attack directly, and whatever, you get the plunder, and then you play with Grand Plaza, it's a 1 mana 4/4 challenger. I think this card is really good. I think that the importance of having 1-drops that are 2/2 stat line is good for early game pressure as well, if you don't have Plaza, or even if you do. I think this card's just generically good. I think it's an amazing 1-drop, and I'm a huge fan of this card. Alright, 2 Rangers off. I go back and forth from this card, because this card's good against everything in the meta, for the most part, except Lee Sin. It does absolutely nothing versus Lee Sin. Lee Sin just kills you 1 turn with the Dragon's Rage. But the thing that's notable that is good against, so I guess you can pick if you want 3. I run 2 copies, even with Lee Sin being popular. I think it's still an important card. But you can run 3 if you're running more into the mirror match. It can be interesting because it blocks Misfortune's bullets, which is really important because it makes them think they have safe attacks. Then you use this, and then you take over a huge combat trade in the mirror match, which is scouts versus scouts. It's insanely good versus Feel the Rush, like the Chrono Tryndamere. Feel the Rush, it's good to protect against Avalanche and Vile Feast and when they're whale. It's good against S-Draven, against a lot of the spells they use. Let's say they use Thermogenic Beam on Misfortune, and they're using a 3 damage Thermogenic Beam or whatever, and then you give it Tough, then she lives. I think protecting Misfortune is key in this deck. I think it sounds obvious, but I feel that it's more important than it seems, and just having the ability to have a spell to protect Misfortune for 1 mana versus not having 1 in hand is make or break. Yeah, if you have 2 in your hand, it's not good because you need units, but yeah. It's not that great against Lee Sin or Targon Demacia Plaza, but I think it's good for a lot of other things. So you can mix and match it how you like. I have 1 flex spot in this deck we'll go over later, and you could exchange that for the Raider result. Anyways, 3 Blinding Assault, Summon Valor, 2 mana Soul Spell, Valor. Challenger Scout doesn't get huge buffs off the Grand Plaza, but the reason this card's so good is because, well, it's Challenger, so it gets the extra attack, is killing things at 3 health, whatever. But the reason it's so good is that you pass turn 1 or whatever, you pass turn 2, and then turn 3 you play Misfortune, then you activate Blinding Assault, and then you have Misfortune and Valor. Valor gets 2 attack sinks as Scout, and you have 2 out of 4 Misfortune. That's insane, because then next turn you just attack with a scout, attack again, you level Misfortune. 2 attack turns, so you just level Misfortune. So easy. So this gives you the scout keyword Misfortune as soon as you can get it. So you got 2 out of 4, so next time you attack, she just levels up. with the next scout attack. So this is insanely strong for that reason. And also with Misfortune, it kills Zoe because she has 1 health for free, then she can attack again. And Teemo and everything with 1 health. So yeah. 3 Register Protector, give an ally barrier. This can be used to protect Misfortune on your opponent's attacking turns. This can be used to give your Fleet Footed Tracker or your Valor barriers so they get free kills. Or any, I mean, now your Grand Plaza Blade in the game, everything's a challenger, and you can make everything be protected while it challenges a unit. Very important card. 3 Sharp Sight, card's amazing. Give an ally +2/+2 so I can block units to lose this round. Just a protection from Misfortune, push extra damage, win combat trades, loot through kill spells. Pretty versatile card. And can block elusives as a bonus. 3 Misfortune, pretty much like the main part of the deck, the reason why deck's so strong. When allies attack, deal 1 to all battling enemies. So basically it just pings for 1 on your opponent, and it does 1 to the Nexus as well. When you level up, it pings for 3, 1 3 times, and then has Overwhelm. It basically, if you level up, you usually win. It does so much damage, and it's so hard to beat. So yeah. 2 Relentless Pursuit, I think 3 is really, really cloggy, so I run 2. I've always been a fan of 2 over 3. I think, yeah, 3 is greedy, and the thing is, if you draw, like, let's say you run 3 and you have it in your hand, if you draw multiples, that's 2 less cards you can work with. This is a card to finish the game when you're already winning. It's not really win more because it is the difference between winning and losing a lot of the time, because this deck needs, like, it doesn't have a strong late game, so it as strong as, like, other decks that are, like, Field Rush or, like, Lee Sin kills and Ace Soul, so you need to finish off with, like, this card sometimes. But if you run 3, it can add a lot of hands you don't have enough units, and your hands are just clogged up with Relentless Pursuits. Let's say they have a lot of removal spells against Edge Draven, they end up successfully killing your units if you have a hand of Pursuits. It's only getting out of your board, so I think that 2 is the perfect amount. You just want to see 1 a game, like closer to the end, I guess, or like mid-late game. 3 Grand Plaza, as we talked about, pretty straightforward. This is why this deck is so strong. I think previously this deck was tier 2. A lot of people said it was tier 1, but I play this deck all the time. I've hit rank 1 with it. I think that if you don't know how to beat it, it's pretty good, and especially in lower ranks, it's like it's amazing in lower ranks because they definitely a lot of times don't know the matchup as well. But in higher ranks, it's easier to beat. But this card gives it a huge edge, and it just makes the whole deck 10 times stronger. Honestly, this card's insane. This is like one of the strongest cards in the game right now. Yeah. All right, 3 Grizzled Ranger. So you can place your scout, levels up Misfortune, get the scout attack, gets Challenger with Grand Plaza. So on Grand Plaza, on 3, play Grand Plaza. On 4, you play Grizzled Ranger. Attack with Challenger, kill something. You want it to die, or you can have it die. I guess it doesn't matter if it dies or not. But if you attack something, you kill one of their guys, and then it dies. It then summons a low Badger Bear, becomes a 4/5 Challenger. Grand Plaza, and you kill something else. Very strong combo. Very strong. Island Navigator, just as strong. When I'm summoned, summon a random 1 cost and grant Scout. So these, this anything it summons gets the +1/+1 from Grand Plaza, and that's very powerful. So you get to like attack twice and kill like their field. It's amazing. Okay, this is the flex spot. Is the 3rd riposte. I think you need 2 riposte, but the 3rd riposte can be range resolve, like a 3rd pursuit or other cards I'll talk about at the end. Yeah. So the reason I run 3 right now is because this card is particularly good in Grand Plaza mirrors. A lot of times you'll play against Scouts or Targa and Demacia Grand Plaza, 2 of the most popular decks right now. And they'll play a card that, let's say they play like Slayer Sunforger in Targa and Demacia, and they try and attack Misfortune. If you use riposte, then not only does your unit live, then it also kills theirs. And protecting Misfortune is key, because Misfortune dies, deck gets so much weaker. And a bonus, I guess, it stops lifesteal if it is Slayer Sunforger particularly, because the barrier makes you take no damage for lifesteal. It loses the Hush, and the downside is that at higher levels, what people could do, it's not like, it is good if they end sometimes too, but it depends. But like, let's say they're like, oh, well, he probably, let's say you have really good pressure, right? You have really good pressure, you're doing a lot of damage. Then they play like we'll use the same example, Slayer Sunforger Grand Plaza, and they're thinking about killing Misfortune, and you pass. They might be thinking, oh, well, he probably has riposte, and if I pass back, he'll lose his mana and lose a lot of tempo. But it's hit or miss, though, because then you can keep Misfortune, so I don't know. It loses the Hush, but it's good versus Grand Plaza mirrors. It can push for game, through kill spells against like Edge Draven. It gives your deck ways to deal with big threats that otherwise it wouldn't be able to, because obviously the attack stats of this deck aren't the highest. So I think 2 is key. I think you need 2, but the 3rd is flex spot. It's been range resolved in the past and stuff, but depends on the meta. All right, 3 Quinn. When I'm summoning someone Valor, I think this card's okay. So first off, This card's always been the best version of Scouts. I promise you, Quinn, I know that by herself she's not that strong, but people underrate how good she is because she adds so much to the deck. So yeah, individually, if you put her like in a vacuum, she's not that good. But what she adds to Scouts is insane. Some people put Emma Felucian in the past. I actually was the first person to make that. I was the one who made Emma Felucian, and I've always thought Quinn was better. So Quinn adds a lot to the deck. I think that her with Misfortune is just so powerful, and I want to state that with Grand Plaza, she's like 10 times better than she was before. Becoming a 4/5 with Grand Plaza is really strong, and getting the Valor, it's just like you're getting 2 units, a +1/+1. It's a lot of stats, and you have the Scout keyword. She's easy to level up. I think Misfortune and Quinn are both very easy to level up in this deck. I think it's, some people say they aren't, but I think that I level them up like all the time. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm summon a Valor, 2 Scout attacks, and she levels up. So she can attack 4 times. When she's leveled up, when you attack, you summon a Valor, challenge your strongest enemy. It's so easy to go for game with this. Chance spell's good in the deck. Quinn's Blind Assault, just a Valor. We main 3 already, so it's obviously good. Then Valor. Very good. All right. 3 Steel through the Bold. I run this over Genevieve because I think that it's insane. And I also think it's even better at Grand Plaza, and here's why. First, let's read the card. 6 mana, 6/6. Give other allies +1/+1 Fearsome this round. All right. So you make your whole field bigger and have Fearsome, but the cool thing is that since you have Grand Plaza a lot of the time and you play this, it becomes a 7/7 Challenger. You can use the Challenger to hook away one of their Fearsome blockers, and then all your rest of your field is Fearsome, and they all attack damage. So let's say your opponent has, this is like a very ideal scenario for what I'm talking about, but just for example, I'll say the perfect scenario, a 3/2 and 4 2/2s. You use the Challenger from Grand Plaza to sit there to hook away the 3/2, then she attacks, she gives the rest of your field Fearsome, all the 2/2s can't block that, and you push huge damage and you kill them. I also like you can play this on defensive turns and be fine, because like Genevieve, like the buff's only for the turn, so you play this on your defensive turn, it's not a big deal because the buff only comes she attacks. All right, that's the deck. I guess real quick, I'll just say the matchups. This deck loses to Target Demacia. It loses to Estraven, but it can beat Lee Sin. It's around even if they're a good Lee Sin player, but slight favorite if they're just like average. So you might be thinking like, okay, well if this loses to Target Demacia and Estraven, like what does it beat? So it's a top 5 deck. It's probably like the 4th best deck in the game. Yeah, it may lose to 2 of the 3 top decks, but it destroys tier 2 decks. This deck can run train. If it opens well, it can still beat the top decks. This deck is really potent if you have Misfortune and Scouts. And at lower ranks, it's pretty fast. It's pretty fast games, so it's good for climbing. It can definitely get you to master, and it just if you play against anything besides Estraven and Target Demacia, you can just like run through it. So very good. All right, tech cards. No one's getting the gameplay real quick. All right, tech cards. Some people run Garen. I like Quinn, but Garen's cool because Grand Plaza makes it easy to strike and stuff like that. Some people, I mean, you grow Crash at Corsair, but that's not good. Don't play that. Some people lately are running Pool Shark because you play it on turn 2. You don't want to play on turn 1. If you do choose Pool Shark, do not play it on turn 1. You want to play it on turn 2. Because when I'm summon, draw 1, and I give it Fleeting, you would hate to play on turn 1, draw Misfortune or Grand Plaza, and then you can't play on turn 2, and you lose it, and you lose. You play on turn 2 to raise your odds of drawing Grand Plaza or Misfortune on 3, and then you always just play it on 3. So you want to play this card on turn 2. Some people play it, I don't. Third Range Resolve if you want. So we're running Fortune Croaker for more draw. I used to run Higher Gun in the past, but with Grand Plaza, I don't think you need it. Oh, Single Combat. Single Combat gives you removal. If you want to run this, it's good with barriers and stuff, but up to you. Where's Fortune Croaker? Deal 1 to ally, draw 1. Basically just draws you cards. Challenger actually could be good. Same with Pool Shark. Petty Officer. Summon a Powder Keg random 1-cost follower. Usually summon the 1-cost follower. I don't play this card because I don't have space, but it's cool. Maybe I could run one over Riposte. This is a card I actually like a lot. Where is it? Double Trouble. I like this card. Ran it out of 3 of. I don't have it in the current build, but I like it. Maybe you can run one over the Riposte. Summon 2 random 1-cost followers. Why is this good? Because on you pass turn 1 and turn 2, turn 3 you play Grand Plaza, and then you activate Double Trouble, and you get 2 challengers right away with Spell Mana. Spell Mana you banked, which gives you a lot of tempo instead of just Grand Plaza pass. Petty Officer obviously uses unit mana, so you can't do that. But this lets you use your Challenger, Spell Mana, etc. on turn 3 with Grand Plaza, and to me it's extremely powerful. I like this card a lot, so maybe I'll run one. Who knows? Maybe I'll run 3. I'll try it out. I recommend it. All right, let's get a move on. Third Pursuit could be good. There's like 1 or 2 other cards I want to talk about. You don't run Concerted Strike. You run Single Combat if you were to run anything. Some people run Radiant Guardian for like I don't even know why. Just don't play in this deck because it doesn't really make sense this deck. Unless the meta really calls for it, which it doesn't because aggro is not that strong right now. Back to back is a card people played in the past. Give 2 allies +3/+3 this round. That should be cool, like cheeky little spell they don't see coming. Alright, final cards. Genevieve, when I'm summoned, give other allies +1/+1. Still really good with Grand Plaza. Gets challenge. I mean, already Challenger, but you have to attack things twice. It's just good. It's good in Scouts, but I like Cithria better. If you have space for both, that's it. And then final card, if you want to be cheeky, is Tiana Crown Guard. When I'm summoned, rally. I think this card could be cool. All right, let's play. What are you up against? Ooh, Riven Quinn. I think you guys would like Riven Quinn. All right, I'll explain why he's playing Riven Quinn. It's actually been, for some reason I've seen people play it more often lately. So we're gonna keep a 1-drop here. So basically, okay, usually here's the mulligan. Here's the mulligan. So just so you guys know. You mulligan your entire hand for Grand Plaza or Misfortune. Doesn't matter what you have. If you're up against aggro, like a burn deck or something, you can keep like Jagged Butcher for defending at the early game, but usually you mulligan your entire hand for Grand Plaza or Misfortune. Alright. So here's why I'm keeping this hand. We already have Misfortune. I mean, we already have Grand Plaza, so I can tell you how I mulligan. Since we're going second, that means we're placed on 3. On 4, we attack, so we want to keep this. So turn 3, turn 4. We don't need Sharp Sight. We'd rather have like Misfortune or like something else. Like this could be good protection actually. Maybe it's turn 1, turn 2 pass, turn 3 this, turn 4 that. Let's do that. And then Jagged Butcher to help the early game. Let's keep this hand. Alright, here's why he runs Riven. When you gain the attack token, Reforge, that adds like a... Wow, we drew Misfortune. That adds like a jagged thing to hand. Point is, Scouts gave you the attack token again, so if you have Scouts plus Riven, it actually allows you to Reforge twice in 1 turn. That's the whole like synergy point. Alright. Attack here. Okay, he's probably going to do similar stuff to us. We're probably both going to be playing Grand Plaza, but we get to play our Island Navigator on turn 4, and he can't play on turn 3. Double Trouble is a Bilgewater card, so he actually isn't able to play anything this turn that I know of. Like, there's no spells that really summon the units here. Something that's kind of annoying is that House Spider gets, is actually really good with this. Get the two mana for those stats. He's amazing with House Spider. Alright, so I'm going to opt to play Island Navigator this turn to utilize the Grand Plaza tempo, and then next turn play Misfortune. Alright, so we'll kill that. This is our scout attack. Keep this back so we can attack with it again later. And yeah, we'll play this on our defending turn because we want to make the best out of our offense. Reforge. Okay, that doesn't... Oh, okay. So his hand must be like kind of bricked, and he's just trying to... He's just trying to get another Reforge so he can make the Blade of Exile for Riven. That's kind of annoying. I actually would push damage here, though. I don't think it's worth passing up 5 damage, considering this is going to turn to a 1/1 right after this turn, so he'll lose its +1/+1 buff for the round. So it's definitely worth it. Especially because this region also has no healing besides Radiant Guardian. So if he's not playing Radiant Guardian or doesn't have Radiant Guardian, then it's very good. Alright, so this turn we're going to play Misfortune. Okay, maybe we should wait a second, because it seems that he might kill her. He has multiple attacks with multiple cards, so we should probably pass and just hold off and play Misfortune maybe later. Okay, so he wants to give quick attack to the one that has Challenger. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's a genius. He's trying to do more damage. Okay, okay. I see you. I see you. Yeah, just let it go. No big deal. We're only taking 2 damage here. It's pass again. If he's smart, he might pass back, but I don't think he's going to. Because he's like, he's kind of committed with the fragment. Alright. We can do this. I mostly want to do it just to kill this. Because getting rid of the blockers makes this so we can do more damage next turn. So we'll take the damage here. Alright. Play Misfortune. The next turn we can pop off of Quinn. Or we can do Grizzle Ranger with Sharp Side up. Both sound pretty good to me. I do like getting the level up for Quinn, but she's also very susceptible. I guess we'll play it safe and play Grizzle Ranger here. We're already pretty far ahead. He's at 11. There's not a reason to take any big risks right now because we're just doing so well. And with Misfortune on the field, our odds of winning are so much higher. I don't want to play like something and then it's awkward because he has like a single combat or something, or try to kill her. Also, if he plays like Cithria, like a big unit, then Quinn might just have to pass, and we can't deal with that at all, and we have to end our whole attack. Like playing Cynthia as a defender would ruin like most of our whole attack. This I don't care if it dies. I can hook and just do damage because I'm gonna get the 4/5 again. Blinding Assault. It's fine. Alright. Is this potential lethal, right? Sharp sight? Alright. Let's go for it. I can either do this to stay out of single combat range or this to heal her. Misfortune's way more important, so... But yeah, the buffs you do stay permanent afterwards. Alright, so we going. Yeah, his version is like a weaker version of our deck, so... Alright, so we have Misfortune. We're playing Targon's Peak, I think? Which is pretty interesting. It's not played that much, but Chrono Ace kind of gives it away. It's either Targon's Peak or just a ramp deck for Aurelion Sol, but we have Misfortune. So usually, if you don't draw Misfortune or Grand Plaza, you mull your whole hand and try and get it, but we have it. So I believe that this deck, its weakness is like huge aggression, which is good for us. So we're gonna be as aggressive as possible. I'll mulligan this. I'll keep this. Actually, we'll try and get Blinding Assault here. We have plenty of 4-drops, so we can try and draw them later. So we're most likely to draw 4-4. I wanted to mull for Blinding Assault. That's what I wanted, and we got it. This is going to be very strong, and hopefully we can showcase how good Blinding Assault Misfortune is if he doesn't have ways to stop it. And we have protection for it. If Misfortune lives, he doesn't have direct removal from Misfortune in this deck. There shouldn't really be anything. So we just pass here. What you want to do is you want to play Misfortune. Play it first. He's up Sharp Sight if we have Protector, but we'd probably be fine. But he doesn't know we have Blinding Assault. He doesn't know we can randomly just do infinite damage. He might be afraid of playing a Warring Stones here that he normally would, just because of the Fleet Flare tracker. The thing is, he could have Avalanche, and I could be playing into it. I think it's worth it, because getting 2 out of 4 Misfortune is insane. Like, we pretty much just win. Okay, no Avalanche. It would have been very punishing to Avalanche, but we did the risk-reward analysis, and I think it's totally worth it. So, as you can see, Misfortune's bullet just kills us instantly, because it only has 1 health. This is basically like showcasing the exact interactions you're trying to do with this deck. Attack with everything. This should be a really hard matchup for him because of our amazing aggression. So we ended up not having a 4-drop unless we draw him for turn. Okay, I figured he has something like that. Unless we draw him for turn, we don't have the 4-drop here, but that's fine. We have things to protect the Misfortune. Okay, so it is Targon's Peak. Everything in our hand could be good. If we get a 0-mana Sith 3, that's insane. We might even like try and kill him on open attack. Just because he might play It That Stairs. As much as I want to level up Misfortune for this video though, so it's kind of hard. Alright, I'll humor you guys. For the video, I'll level up Misfortune. Normally I think I'd just stack with everything and like maybe go for a game or something. But I want to get Misfortune's level up to show you how easy Blinding Assault is. This is turn 5. This is turn 5 and you can level up Misfortune. This happens all the time with this card. It's so powerful. So let's see what card he got that costs 0. Oh, he's Moon Silvering something. Catalyst. Okay. So we'll attack with Misfortune. So Targon's Peak's like very exploitable deck, especially this matchup. It does better against slower matchups because you don't like against Ezraven or just certain. I don't know if Ezraven. Just certain things you don't give them cards to remove. Okay, so he uses Harsh Winds that cost 0, but we have our Sharp Sight here. Put on different things to spread apart the damage here. Man, that should be lethal. Like next turn, maybe we would have played like a Aurelion Sol or something, or Field of Rush that cost 0. Depending on what Targon Peak discounted, but pretty straightforward. Pretty good. Alright, cool. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I stream every day at 6:30 p.m. EST on twitch.tv/NicMakesPlays. I hit rank 1 every season, so if you guys want to watch like how to do well on ranked or high octane matches like master matches and matches of like top 10 masters, whatever, feel free to follow me and support the stream. Feel free to subscribe on YouTube if you guys enjoyed the video. I'm thinking about doing as you can see, we already have it here, Zoe Diana video this week. Maybe Zoe Twisted Fate is a cool deck. There's Lee Sin's really good. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what decks you guys are interested in, and I hope I see you guys either here or on Twitch later. But if you enjoyed the video, peace out.